Our small town provides safety and security. We know each other, and the neighbors help keep an eye on things. On average, Trimble County experiences a crime only once every 24 hours, but our stone jail has provided safety for our community until 1983, and today we'll hear some of those stories.
This part was built in, there's a controversy, 1855, 1859, and then there's others that it's built in 1850. The upstairs was built in 1899, but the lower part has 6 bunks and 3 cells. It has a stainless steel commode with a wash basin, and it has a shower. They were put in the 50s. Up until that time, it was a pan of water and a rag. But most of the prisoners that they had here at the time were just local peoples who were caught with alcohol, traffic tickets, citations and everything held overnight. So they didn't bother about locking any of the doors except for the door to the outside, not the inside doors. They left them open so that they could mingle, and they sat and played cards and, did their normal thing, probably shot dice and all that stuff. But one incident, Henry Tingle was the jailer, and he was bringing over a meal, opened the door, which there's 2 doors, so he was holding the tray. One of the prisoners decided he didn't want to stay. He crawled up in the ceiling and put his feet up on the door that was open, and when Henry came in, he jumped down on him, knocked him down, and escaped for a couple of hours. In 1927, James Riley Williams was a jailer, and he had arrested a man, and he had been in jail before, and he said, "You're not going to put me back in jail. I won't go." And they had a scuffle. Riley Williams, the jailer, was killed, and his wife, Pearl Williams, who was pregnant with the 10th child, became the jailer. And she even, they say, jailed the man who shot her husband. But she went on to be appointed the jailer to represent her husband until his term was up. She ran for office and was elected 2 more times on her own. Boys that were arrested for alcohol, they didn't like it here. They saw that there was a chip in the floor, which was just one thin layer of concrete. And one of them kept a spoon from his meal, and every night they would chip away at that and hide the dirt underneath the bunk, the lower bunk, way up front where they couldn't be seen. Dug a tunnel, went under this wall, dug under the ground, and went under the yard fence and escaped. And there were 3 of them, but they did get caught. But can you imagine how long it took with a spoon to dig the tunnel to go under? And there was a teenager, juvenile, put upstairs because his parents couldn't handle him, and they thought a night in jail, maybe or 2, would help straighten him out. It didn't, so he was brought back. He didn't like it. As close as these bars are, he squeezed between the bars in the upstairs part of this jail, shimmied down the side of the jail, and escaped. And he not only did it once, but he did it twice. But the second time he got caught, something got caught, and he couldn't get all the way down, and here he hung on the side of the building until they found him. In earlier years, there was a lot of fun things that happened on the banks of the Ohio River. And we had the jail housed with the drunk and disorderly, and men and women. It was overcrowded like sardines in a can. And then they took them outside and housed them inside the gates and the fence that still didn't hold all of them, so they put a rope from the trees to the courthouse and had guards to stand out there, and they filled the yard up. The judge came in on Saturday afternoon, and they were taking them one by one in, and he was setting the bail, releasing them if they could pay the bail, putting them back in if they couldn't. If you look in your local paper, there's hardly any felonies. We've had some murders here in the county, but none in the last 6, 8, 10 years.
Yeah.
It's a safe place.